Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah Maas. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts on this book, so buckle up. I'll start this out by saying I'm not a fan of the whole fantasy genre that's really popular right now. I don't typically like fantasy TV shows or movies or things like that, so I was very hesitant to start this series. There's just such an incredible hype around it that I finally gave in. I've also been told by several people that if you are not a fan of fantasy, it's better to listen to the audio version of the books than to read the actual book because it'll hold your interest a little more, and I have to agree with that. Although I kind of wish there was a way to listen to it while also reading it. I mean, I in theory could just play the audio while holding the book, but the reason why, the names are very unique, hence fantasy genre. And so I wish I could read the name while also hearing the name. I think that would have helped. Okay, now let's talk about the actual book itself. So I had no clue that this was supposed to be a retelling of Beauty and the Beast, but I picked up on that right away. And I posted something here and on TikTok saying all I can think about is Beauty and the Beast. And many of you guys educated me that that's the point. It's supposed to be like Beauty and the Beast. So I have to give kudos to the author for exemplifying that in her writing, because I picked up on the Beauty and the Beast vibes right away in this book. In my opinion, the book started out really strong, really interesting. I started to lose interest about, without giving away any spoilers, it was about halfway through the book. I don't want to give away spoilers. It was about halfway through the book I started to lose interest. And then towards the end, I was I could not put it down. So for those who are very unaware of what this book is about, because I had absolutely no clue, it is, I want to say, slightly a love story, but this book is mostly, there's a mortal world and a fairy world. And the book follows one mortal throughout her journey, kind of blurring the lines between the two worlds. And there is love story elements kind of embedded in the story, but I think it's more or less, it's mostly about the mortal, Feyre is her name, her kind of transition and getting acclimated into the fairy world. I feel like that's more what the book is about than the actual love story, in my opinion. The very end of the story, I have to say, I was kind of expecting it. They did I picked up on the foreshadowing. I kind of saw it coming, but I was still really surprised. What? It certainly got me excited for the second book, and everybody says the second book is the best book, so I'm really excited to start reading that one. Another fair warning, this book is really long. I think the second book is even longer, so I'm kind of dreading that because it was very long, but I'm hoping it's good enough to keep my interest like this one was.